Good evening, and welcome to the Big Z Sports Extra Point Show, showcasing the Ridgewood Generals, powered by Battle Motors, purpose-built, quality-driven. Food for tonight's show provided by Amici's Pizza. Now let's head to the Hartzler's Quality Housing Mobile Studio at the Field House at Ridgewood High School in West Lafayette with Big Z Sports. Ridgewood High School in West Lafayette with Big Z Sports.
Welcome into the Battle Motors Extra Point Show. Joe Geckler, Shannon Thomas. We are at Ridgewood in their field house tonight. Week 10 version of our Extra Point Show, and we're going to talk about the Ridgewood Generals. And, of course, Week 10 means rivalry week, Shannon, and big matchups all over the area tonight, this week. And, of course, tonight, the big one that we're going to talk about with head coach John Slusser, of course, the Generals and Pirates on Friday night.
Yeah, it's going to be a big game, in Sugar Creek. Ridgewood could go in there and spoil a lot of plans for Garraway, and this is what you play for. Week 10, all records are out the window. Get hyped up. Go see who can win. It's
going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be joined by 5 different seniors for the Ridgewood Generals tonight. Josiah Cahill, Jonas Paul, Colin Smith, Quincy Haynes, and Cohen Cabot will all join us as well. We'll talk football with them a little bit, but we're going to get to know them, their girlfriends, and their post-game activities, and all kinds of fun stuff with the players here for the Ridgewood Generals. We're going to take a break, though. Come back. We'll be joined by head coach John Slusser. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
The Extra Point Show, built by Battle Motors, will be back after this break. Battle Motors, purpose-built, quality-driven.
How does a new career in an extremely high-demand field sound to you? Well, the former Crane Carrier Company in New Philadelphia is now Battle Motors. Battle Motors is expanding rapidly for their all-new heavy-duty electric truck production. Battle Motors has immediate openings for assemblers, electrical technicians, painters, blasters, as well as numerous engineering and design positions. If you're interested in a great career opportunity, apply online at battlemotors.com/careers.
You're listening to the Extra Point Show, built by Battle Motors, purpose-built, quality-driven. Quality-driven.
Welcome back to West Lafayette and Ridgewood High School. The field house is where we are for the Extra Point Battle Motors Show. And Joe Geckler, Shannon Thomas, we are joined by Ridgewood head coach John Slusser. And Coach, first of all, man, this is the first time we've ever done a show in your field house. Of course, we've talked to you a bunch of times in the coach's office and stuff, but we've never actually done a show from your field house here. What a beautiful facility. You can see the indoor batting cages here, the weight rooms behind us, and the locker room. That's amazing as well.
It's a super facility. It was a great build by our school district. I think I went my first 12 or 13 years without a locker room, without a place to dress or change. And so once we got this place, it was it was a game changer. This place is beautiful.
Yeah, it's an absolutely gorgeous facility here, and like you said, when the spring and winter rolls around, and it's still raining or it's still cold out, the guys can come in here and work out and do their pitching, their hitting, and the softball as well. So what a great asset you have for your program.
Absolutely, we're very proud of it.
Coach, let's talk about your season a little bit. Let's go back, if you can remember, back to week 1, all the way back in August. You guys traveled to Coshocton your first game, 42-14 was a win. The next week, Riverview, almost the same score, 41-14, and then kind of tested a little bit up at Marlington, and you won there 7-0. Talk to us about the first 3 games of the season.
Those first 3 games were big games for us. As a coach, at least we do this here. I don't know if everybody does it. You kind of sit down at the beginning of the year and you've got games circled that you know you can win, games that you probably can't win, and games that could go either way. Those first 3, we thought all 3 were could go either way games. And in order for us to have the season we wanted to have, we knew those games were very, very important. We come out of the chute. And we did. We came out and played a really good first half in Coshocton. I think we were up 35-0 at halftime. Riverview was a little bit tighter at half. Maybe I don't remember back that far, but we were in control that night too. Not till the 3rd week we went to Marlington did we really struggle to score offensively that night, and we ended up hitting a fake punt. We didn't play great defense, but we battled all night, and kept us right around where we wanted to be, and we ended up making a play at the end and held on for a victory, and it was a big win. Like I said, we needed those 3 games at the start.
Coach, you said there's games that you expect to win. Those first 2 games, though, they kind of can turn into a trap game if kids aren't careful. Coming out at the beginning of the season, those are kind of little rivalry games that you have here in Coshocton County, and so if they make mistakes, it could cost you real quick to start the season.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. When you have games that that could go either way, that makes or break your season. I mean, we're sitting here at 7-2 right now, and I mean, 1 or 2 of those don't go right. Now you're sitting at 4-3, 3-4. I mean, such a different outlook on your season, and kids don't always get that. But week 1 counts the same as week 8 or week 9. They all count the same, and sometimes we forget that, and it's really hard. But you got to keep them focused on those games that you have to have at the beginning, and we did that.
Coach, you got out of the gate early, 3-0 after the first 3 weeks. You go on another tough road test at West Branch. We were talking before we went on the air here this evening. You kind of feel down deep that West Branch could make a run to possibly the state Final Four, and you fell to them 38-14.
I do. I think West Branch has a really good chance to win their region. I think they're that good. The quarterback was really impressive. They were big and long up front. They have skilled guys galore. It was a great facility, good coaching staff. It was a listen. It's not very fun to get beat 38-14, but it was a good night. It was a fun night. They were really good people, and it was a good atmosphere. And like I said, I don't enjoy losing, but that night was a good night, and it got us a little. The first test of being down and having to fight back, and our kids did a great job with that.
Yeah, Coach, West Branch is one of those programs in the state that a lot of little programs want to be like. So to take your team up there and be challenged by them, you learn in a loss. You don't want to lose, but that's one of those games that your kids could learn a lot from.
Well, and the West Branch game is one of those games. I don't know that we would have beat them the previous years, but had we played them 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we would have matched up a little bit better with them in the skill department out on the outside and all that. I'd like to think it would have been a different game. But because of the league doing away with the other crossover game, we were searching for a week 4. And because of some of the success we've had, it's sometimes hard to get people our size or in our area to play us. So that was a game we ended up with. Probably not the ideal game for us at this time in our program, but and them being so good, probably don't need to step up a division and play a state Final Four team. But like I said, it was good for our kids to see it. I was really proud of our kids that night because we kept battling. We kept getting ourselves back in it. I know it doesn't sound like it, but one time I think it was 28-14, and we were thinking we get a stop, we're back in it. But needless to say, that did not happen. So we learned and we moved on.
Obviously, Coach, you learned a lot about your team after Week 4 loss to West Branch, but you come back down here Week 5. You start the IVC crossover game with the Malvern Hornets, who has had a spectacular season this year. You got them 34-7. Big Z Sports was here to do that game for you. Talk about that game, and then the following week you kind of go into your IVC South kind of gauntlet right there, starting, you went with Malvern, who was one of the best teams in the North, and then you go right into the South.
Yeah, when I saw the crossover game, I figured we get Malvern because they're pretty good right now. But, that was a good game for us. We came here, kind of had a little edge to us because we had lost the week before, kind of challenged our kids to see what we were made of. Any coach will tell you this. You don't want to turn losses into streaks,
Sure.
You don't want to turn 1 into 2, 2 into 3. So, it was a big deal for us to get back on track. And luckily, we were at home that night. We always play a little bit better here. Our kids played well, and we were able to win that game.
And then if you go to Tusky Valley and Sandy Valley, you got 2 nice wins there. And then come week number 8, the Indian Valley Braves roll in here. And you fall 27-13 to a good Indian Valley team. And talk to us about that, your second loss of the season.
That was a tough game for us. We thought going in they were probably a hair better than us, but we thought with it being here, we were hoping we could battle them. I blame myself some for that game. I made a bad decision on a 4th down call. We had it down to 20-13 or 20-14. We had the ball on about their 15-yard line going in at the end of the 3rd to take the lead or tie it up, and made a poor coaching decision, and it ended up costing us. As a coach, you try never to be the reason your kids lose. It's nice when you can just blame it on them.
Sure.
When it's your fault, it doesn't sit very well. And that was one I thought maybe that I probably cost the kids a little bit that night. I really feel bad about it. But the kids battled. Listen, Indian Valley's got a really nice team and have a lot of respect for what they do. So if you're going to lose, it's always good to lose the good people, and Indian Valley falls under that category.
Coach, from the Indian Valley game clear back to the Malvern game, one of the things that I noticed is the exceptional play of your linebackers and your defensive backs. Like, they really stepped up in the second half of the schedule, and they do some good things back there for you.
We've been good in the front of our defense, and the back end's been hit and miss at times. Indian Valley game, we gave up 2 pretty big pass plays. Part of that was our scheme. Once again, probably not a great coaching scheme by me. But we had some kids playing. Schrock, who's been a starter for us the past 2 years, he was out that game. And we had some young kids in, and, we matched him up with Henry a few times, and we didn't win that battle. They hit us on some plays. But, overall Josiah's been pretty consistent back there. He had a big interception that game. He's kind of been the glue that's held us together, and depending on where we have to move him to match up and do things, we've been able to do better than I expected. You're right about that, better than I expected. Our linebacker play I would expected it to have been pretty good. Colley's had just a tremendous year at linebacker, been incredible for us. Seems like he makes every tackle. Quince has really started to come on again. He did the same thing last year. At the beginning, he wasn't great. He came on and finished tremendously. And the past few games, he's been really good again. The Sparger, Aiden Sparger, is a sophomore, and he's been a real pleasant surprise. We knew Aiden was pretty good. I think he kind of surprised us and probably everybody else on how good he's done. He's been really lights out for us. Really good sophomore player, so we're proud of him. And you're right, they have gotten better and done a good job.
Coach, looking at your team stats defensively, Shannon mentioned the linebackers in the secondary, but it starts up front with Ridgewood football on defense. You guys have only given up about 76 yards through the air. You forced 19 turnovers, 9 of those interceptions, 10 of them on fumble recoveries. You've only given up about 109 yards a game on the ground. Talk to us about up front on the defensive front for you guys.
Defensive front, once again, coming into, we thought we'd be all right up there. We had Jonas and Cam Hirschberger, both seniors back, both really good football players. We had Cohen Cabot, who was going to become a first-year starter as a senior. Cohen's such a good kid. I mean, he's a easy kid to know will do right because he's a big program guy.
Sure.
He buys into everything about Ridgewood football. Kind of the surprise there was another sophomore, Logan Slusser. He's had a really nice sophomore season for us. And it seems like the bigger the games, the bigger he's played. He's a big, strong kid that runs pretty well. So that's been a nice group for us. We've also got some we play about 7 or 8 defensive linemen a game. And, we've gotten some of the seniors, like Colin Davis, been back out this year, and he's helped us up front. Eli Straub's helped us up there. So that is where it starts for us. You are right about that. But those guys have been, as what we expected, they've been pretty good.
Well, Coach, we're going to take a break here, come back. We're going to talk a little to the players that you brought for us tonight. Josiah Cahill, Jonas Paul, Colin Smith, Quincy Haynes, and Cohen Cabot. We'll mix those guys in here in just a little bit. We're going to take a break, and Coach will come back and, of course, talk about Rivalry Week, which is this week. He's got to travel to Sugar Creek to take on the Garraway Pirates. We'll talk to him about that towards the end of the show. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
The Extra Point Show, built by Battle Motors, will be back after this break. Battle Motors, purpose-built, quality-driven.
How does a new career in an extremely high-demand field sound to you? Well, the former Crane Carrier Company in New Philadelphia is now Battle Motors. Battle Motors is expanding rapidly for their all-new heavy-duty electric truck production. Battle Motors has immediate openings for assemblers, electrical technicians, painters, blasters, as well as numerous engineering and design positions. If you're interested in a great career opportunity, apply online at battlemotors.com/careers.
You're listening to the Extra Point Show, built by Battle Motors. Purpose-built, quality-driven. Built, quality-driven.
Welcome back to the Field House here at Ridgewood High School. Joe Geckler, Shannon Thomas at the other end of the table, and we are doing our Battle Motors Extra Point Show. And a big thanks to Amici's Pizza. Guys, how can you not come to West Lafayette and get Amici's Pizza?
I do every time I come down here for a game. I swing in, get it in the parking lot, sit out here and eat.
Did you see the box that was sent to me?
Yeah, you're special.
Alan Folkert handmade me a personal pizza. He knows what I like. He even put for Joe on the box. So, Alan, thank you so much. Amici's Pizza, always good here in West Lafayette. We're joined now by 2 senior offensive and defensive linemen, Cohen Cabot right here and Jonas Paul next to him. And, guys, obviously I'll talk to you real quick. How do you feel your seasons went so far? Cohen, you start.
So far, I feel like our seasons went pretty good. Obviously, Week 8, we didn't want to drop that game to Indian Valley, but very good football team. Always a great game to go against those guys. Always have a great time playing against them. And obviously, our other loss came early in the season against West Branch. Very good football team once again, and both those teams should be pretty good in the playoffs this year.
I'll say you're sitting at 7-2, but both teams that you've lost to are going to be playoff teams and probably make decent runs in the playoffs.
Yeah, most definitely.
And Jonas, I'll ask you, how do you feel about your season so far as you go into Week 10?
Like Cohen said, we lost to 2 pretty good teams, and we don't really fret on those too much. I mean, obviously a loss is a loss, but, we just take when we can get around it. I didn't mean to say that. But.
You take them when you can get them, right?
No, I mean, wins are wins. Loss are loss. It is what it is. But I think we're having a pretty great season so far.
Good. All right, that's enough about football. We're done talking football. So I want to, Jonas, I'll start with you. Pre-game meal. What is? Do you have a pre-game meal that you go to every week?
It's actually funny because every week I've done something different because I just can't find that right meal. 1 week it was pepperoni rolls, and the other week it was McDonald's. I just can't really find that right.
Just don't eat what you ate in the losses. What'd you eat against West Branch?
Oh boy, I think actually nothing.
Nothing. Well, you need to eat then.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
So how do you get McDonald's down here in West Lafayette? You go to Coshocton or do you go down to Cumberstown?
I make my dad get it for me. He goes there one Coshocton. I make that man do everything for me, honestly.
Well, talk to us about your parents. How important are they to you?
I think most of all they really inspire me. They're really hardworking people. They didn't really grow up like I did. They didn't have a lot of money, and they inspire me to work hard. Most of all, they're really nice people. They taught me to be a really good kid. It's a lot of great stuff. Parents do.
Good, awesome. Cohen, we'll talk to you now. Pre-game meal. What do you like to eat before a game?
Oh boy. Usually I don't eat a whole lot before the game, but I at least try to go to lunch every Friday and get something small, whether it's just a peanut butter and jelly or whatever they're serving in there. I know school food's not necessarily always the greatest, but you gotta try to fill yourself up a little bit.
For sure.
So you're both seniors. What's it mean to what's Ridgewood football mean to you?
It's almost hard to put into words, man, because you've been around it for so long. It's all you've been around, and you look at the guys who come before us, and you look at the guys who are going to come after us, and it's just one big family, and we all love each other like brothers, and it's a really cool thing to be a part of.
You know what's scary? You can close your eyes and you can listen to Cohen talk, and you think you're talking to his dad. He sounds just like his dad. So, talk to us about how cool it is to play for your dad here on the coaching staff.
Well, obviously, I've always been coached by my dad and my uncle, and John has been like another father to me, I've been really fortunate to experience those guys as coaching me. But very, very cool. Been around him my entire life, and it's hard to call him coach whenever he's dad,
So does he do a good job of separating dad and coach?
Most definitely. He has to work on with my younger brothers. They tend to not listen as much, but they'll hopefully figure it out in the next couple of years.
Yeah, so what's Ridgewood football mean to you, being your last year here?
I'm actually not from here. I came here, third grade, I think I came here, and I didn't really know what it was all about, until, maybe fifth grade. That's when I joined football. I joined pretty late. I didn't always like football, and I realized that's really everything around here. That's all people care about, really. Surprisingly enough, but no, it's everything. It really means a lot to be a part of the team, and be part of the family. And it's more than that. It's even the community. It does. This is great.
Awesome.
This is great.
All right, thinking back over the last 4 years, guys, least favorite bus trip.
Any sport.
Any sport.
Just one of those bus trips that you didn't like to make.
I hate going to Sandy Valley.
Okay. Hey,
I hate it.
I get it. It's a long way away, right?
Yes, it
What's
is.
About an hour? Hour and 15?
Just about, but it's not the duration. It's just the twisty, windy roads, it stinks.
Okay.
It really stinks.
All right, Cohen, you're up, man. Least favorite bus trip the last 4 years. I know which one it would be for me, but
all right. Well, for me, if I'm going every year, East Canton's not usually one.
Okay.
We didn't play him this year, but actually it was not any fun. But the worst one ever, I'd say, was probably 2020 in the regional finals against Ironton.
I figured that.
3.5 hours down on the river. That's never fun.
That was a tough one for us to come back on. We had a NASCAR driver driving home for us. We got home in an hour and a half, Shannon? 2 hours?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was. He was moving along. I won't name names, Chris Cale, but he was moving, and that was a tough bus trip for us to come back from Ironton. The game was that close and almost to the state semifinals. So, all right, keep this clean. Funny story about a coach. We were talking before we went on. Talk to us about Coach Slusser's workout routine that he does. He's bragging that he can outlift everybody. So talk to us about that.
Well, usually he beats us in here, so we can't watch him lift his little tiny weights. So, I don't blame him for doing that. But we usually get in here about 7:30, 7:45 and get started. And he's either stretching over here or running up and down the halls and jumping and trying to touch the lights. He's I think he's just trying to keep himself occupied at this point.
I got you. All right. So, Jonas, favorite story or a funny story about a coach?
Oh boy, there's so many. Oh boy, man, I can't think of one right now. Come on, you got one?
It's all you, man.
Okay, I got one. So,
All right.
Talking about Coach Slusser lifting and stuff, he always likes to brag, how he lifts more than us and all that. I've never seen it myself. I think he's honestly scared of us, deep down. But he always says he's like so much more athletic than us. Well, there's cameras all around this facility, and now sometimes you go back in that little computer back there, and we just go back and see sometimes, and he has you see those boxes over there, for box jumps.
Yeah.
There's 2 boxes, Something I could do pretty easily, but he just tries to jump on it. He just completely wipes out, An old man like that, he can't really take those many hits.
Old man like that. Okay, at least it's week 10. No more tough practices. But all right. And post-game activities, Jonas. What do you like to do after the game?
I really love Guitar Hero.
Okay.
Like the game with the
Yeah,
little
sure.
controller guitar. I love that game. That's
All right.
probably all I do. That's probably what I'm going to do when I get back home. Is probably eat dinner and play Guitar Hero.
Did you had some pizza here, right? You're going to eat more when you get home?
I'm going to eat more. Spaghetti and meatball night.
Oh, man. All right.
I know, right?
All right, Cohen. What's your post-game activities? What do you like to do?
Activities. Usually we all like to group up and hang out and
Sure.
review a little bit of film, but we try to not take our playing time so seriously, and afterwards we really just like to hang out with each other and have a good time.
Awesome. Well, guys, best of luck this week up in Sugar Creek to take on the Garraway Pirates. Congratulations on a great season, and of course the playoff run coming up. The playoffs kind of start this week. It's a regular season game, but it kind of starts this week for you guys as you travel up to Sugar Creek to take on the Pirates. But good luck, and thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you for all you guys do for us. Thank you.
Yep, that's Cohen Cabot and Jonas Paul joining us here at our Battle Motors Extra Point Show. We're going to come back, joined by 3 more players right after this. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
The Extra Point Show, built by Battle Motors, will be back after this break. Battle Motors, purpose-built, quality-driven.
How does a new career in an extremely high-demand field sound to you? Well, the former Crane Carrier Company in New Philadelphia is now Battle Motors. Battle Motors is expanding rapidly for their all-new heavy-duty electric truck production. Battle Motors has immediate openings for assemblers, electrical technicians, painters, blasters, as well as numerous engineering and design positions. If you're interested in a great career opportunity, apply online at battlemotors.com/careers.
You're listening to the Extra Point Show, built by Battle Motors. Purpose-built, quality-driven.
Battle Motors Extra Point Show. Big thanks to Amici's Pizza again tonight for feeding us, feeding the team and coaches tonight for the Ridgewood Generals. We're going to welcome in 3 more seniors tonight. We have Josiah Cahill, Colin Smith, and Quincy Haynes in between Shannon and I. And I'll start with Josiah. Joe, I'll call you Joe. It's Coach always says that. So, Josiah, you guys are in your senior season, going into week number 10 of your senior season. You've already had your senior night here. What has Ridgewood General football mean to you?
It's crazy how fast it's gone by. It's what it meant to me. It's crazy. The amount of support you have playing in front of your fans and for the people, it's just crazy. That feeling, you'll never get it anywhere else.
Absolutely. Colin, you've been playing, I remember you playing as a freshman, and you were quite a bit bigger as a freshman than you are right now. I believe somebody said if at one time you were like 250. Am I right? Yeah, so you're probably, about 215 now, trimmed down, playing running back, and doing some good things out there. But, Colin, what does it mean to you and this program to be here for the last 4 years?
I mean, it's really meant a lot. It's like another family you get to have. If you ever have any issues, you can talk to your coaches about anything. They help you through everything.
Now, was it your brother that was here? Was he? Was it your brother? Your older brother was here a couple years ago, right?
My brother Colton was in the class of 2020.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So Quincy, same question to you, bud. What does this program mean to you, and what has these last 4 years meant to you?
This program has, since second grade, it's always been something I want to be a part of. I feel like every kid that goes to Ridgewood wants to play Ridgewood football, and to have that honor, have your whole community really be behind you, it's perfect is all I can say. It's just the best feeling in the world.
I always say that you can tell the success of a program when you come out on the field on Friday nights and you see all those little elementary kids just standing there waiting for you, cheering for you. What's it mean to you to know that those kids look up to you like you're an NFL star?
I love seeing the kids. Every Friday actually we go to the elementary school and we say what's up to the kids in the morning when they get there. So to see the support from the kids and know that they want to be a part of it, it's a good feeling because we were in their shoes at one point.
For sure. All right, guys, enough about football. We're going to get into some fun questions, learn about you guys a little bit. I'll stay with you, Quincy, and homecoming date. Did you have a homecoming date?
I did. I've had a girlfriend for a year and a few months, and she actually goes to Riverview.
Okay, all right.
Not a big Riverview guy, but
all right.
I'll put up with her. And went to our homecoming, went to theirs. It was a good time.
What's her name?
Her name is Lydia Williamson.
Awesome. All right, so homecoming dates for you guys. What do we have?
Well, I went to homecoming with my sister.
Okay.
Kids. Our significant others are both out of high school.
Okay.
And our high school does not allow.
Okay. So you just had fun and came and
just went together.
Awesome. Josiah, you have to have like 5 or 6 girlfriends, right?
No, I didn't go. I fly solo.
Okay, you fly solo, didn't go to homecoming. What'd you do on homecoming night then? What'd you do?
I went and got a picture with a couple of my friends, but just chilled at home, I guess.
Just chilled. All right, Josiah, I'll stay with you, but funny story about a coach over the past 4 years. Could be any sport, not necessarily football. Do you have a funny story about a coach?
It wasn't even during a game or practice or anything. It was in here actually, right about where he's sitting. There's surveillance footage of it. Coach Slusser likes to run and jump. He says as soon as he stops running and jumping, that's when he's done.
Okay.
As long as he can run and jump, he's good. He was running and he jumped over a box and didn't clear the box and did a little tumble after. It was pretty funny to watch on film.
Did he hurt himself?
Oh, no, I think he was fine. I think he
Okay.
was just a little embarrassed.
Oh, awesome. All right. So least favorite bus trip?
Oh, 100%. The scrimmages at Kirtland, East Lake North.
Okay.
That was like a 3-hour bus ride. We had to get up real early for.
Okay, yeah, that's a long way up there on the river, on the lake. You went from Ironton way down on the point and then up on the lake for some scrimmages. So, all right, we'll go down to Colin now. And what do you think, Shannon? Pre-game superstitions? Do you have anything that you do?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing. Oh, well, that's not a superstition. I do eat pickles every
Okay.
Friday, but that's just for cramps.
I bet you don't cramp up, do you?
Not really.
Yeah.
Well, I have actually this year, but.
What's your favorite subject in school, Quincy? And the subject you don't like. What your subjects? Your favorite and the one you don't like.
And lunch doesn't count, and neither does gym if you have either one of those.
My favorite subject is weightlifting. It does count as a credit. My least favorite is the rest of them.
The rest of them. All right. So weightlifting. So what's your bench press? What can you bench?
300 pounds.
Can you really? Are you in the 1,000-pound club?
I'm in the 1,100-pound club.
1,100-pound club. All right. So, well, cool. So I'll go back to Colin real quick. Your least favorite and favorite subjects in school?
My favorite is probably math.
Math. Okay.
And math or history.
Okay.
Worst is definitely ELA. I hate ELA. Can't do it.
Most of our football players have said ELA is not their favorite. Josiah, you're a math kid, aren't you? No. All right.
My favorite subject is definitely home ec.
What?
You make food.
You're gonna make a good little house dad one day, aren't you? Do you know how to do your own laundry and cook for yourself?
I'm learning how to cook for myself. That's what we're figuring out.
We'll have to ask his mom that question. So, any other sports you play besides football?
I play baseball.
You enjoy baseball?
I love baseball.
So, what's your favorite one, football or baseball?
Oh, football.
All right.
Football, 100%.
All right, Colin, I know you play baseball. So what's your favorite, football or baseball?
Football.
Football.
By a
Okay.
mile.
Playing offense and defense, would you rather hit somebody or take a hit coming through, scoring a touchdown?
Hit somebody.
Strip sack or pick six?
A couple years ago, I might say otherwise, but actually, I'm a defensive guy.
All right. Quincy, same thing for you, man. Any other sports, and what's your favorite?
Football is by far my favorite. Nothing like football.
Okay.
I've played basketball and baseball throughout high school.
Awesome. So pick six or a touchdown reception?
Well, I haven't got either one of them, so.
You don't know, do you? Which would
really
you rather
know.
do?
Probably a pick six. I like defense.
All right.
Everybody likes defense. It's always better to hit somebody than it is to get hit.
Well, guys, best of luck this week. Week number 10, always a big game, rivalry week. Got to head up north and go to Sugar Creek this week, take on the Pirates. Go get them, and best of luck. Thanks so much for hanging out with us for a little bit.
Thanks for having us.
Yep, that is Colin Smith, Quincy Haynes, and Josiah Cahill joining us here on our Extra Point Show. We're going to take a break, come back. We'll be joined by the athletic director, Jesse Smoulder, and head coach, John Slusser. That's after this. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
The Extra Point Show, built by Battle Motors, will be back after this break. Battle Motors, purpose-built, quality-driven.
How does a new career in an extremely high-demand field sound to you? Well, the former Crane Carrier Company in New Philadelphia is now Battle Motors. Battle Motors is expanding rapidly for their all-new heavy-duty electric truck production. Battle Motors has immediate openings for assemblers, electrical technicians, painters, blasters, as well as numerous engineering and design positions. If you're interested in a great career opportunity, apply online at battlemotors.com/careers.
You're listening to the Extra Point Show, built by Battle Motors. Purpose-built, quality-driven.
Point Show, Joe Geckler, Shannon Thomas. We are live in the field house here at Ridgewood High School. Big thanks to Amici's Pizza again for providing the food for our crew and the team tonight as we talk about the Ridgewood Generals. And we welcome back in head football coach John Slusser and athletic director Jesse Smoulder. Guys, it's week 10, and the regular season's coming to an end, and there's always a big game, Coach, week 10, and last year it was down here. It was another barn burner. We'll ask you about your thoughts on the Garrett Pirates and heading up to Sugar Creek and playing on the Hill this week.
It's always been one of my favorite weeks. Anytime we get together with Garrett, I've been doing it for a long time, and Jason's been doing it longer than I have been. It's just a great time. Both programs, I think, respect each other. I know we respect them a lot. Jason does such a good job, him and his staff. And I tell everybody this, I don't know if anybody ever believes me, but it's such an intense game. But they always are so classy. They always play right. Boy, it's been a battle every year since I've started here. Usually always comes down to just a few points being the difference, like last year's game. It was another tremendous game. We've had so many of them. So it's a fun time. It's a fun time. My kids look forward to it. The community looks forward to it. It's a really good time.
Well, Coach, you told me earlier tonight before we went on there you weren't going to say anything else nice about them, so let's hear some of the bad stuff about the Garrett Pirates.
Well, they usually pass the ball pretty well, and I don't like that. And now they got a really good defense, which they used to not be very good at that, and now they are, and I hate that about them. I liked it better when they let us score all the time. But
let you score, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's a good place. They've done a great job. I have nothing but good things to say about them.
Coach, it's one of those games, like, it's a rivalry game, but there's always so much on the line when these two teams meet. You can throw the rivalry out the window, and now you're playing for league titles every year. You're playing for, top spots in the playoffs, but then you have the rivalry on top of it. I mean, it's not hard to get up for a game like that.
No, I've been so lucky. Well, it just switched to Game 10 a few years ago. Jason and I both kept pushing to push that game to Game 10 because I think every year it has some kind of implication to it as far as the league goes. Our kids have been so lucky to finish their careers Week 10 against, a close rival. I don't know the distance between us, but our school districts touch each other. And also, almost every year it's for the league title. This year's no different than I think it's been the last 3 or 4 years. It's come down to this game. So our kids are very lucky they get to play in it, and so are the Garrett kids. I mean, both sides are very lucky they get to end their career like this. Many people end the game with, a 3-7 team or a team that's not very good, and it doesn't mean anything. Our kids get to finish with the best game at the end. That's pretty cool.
Hey, Coach, has there ever been talk about moving the game to a Saturday or a Thursday to give you an extra day going into the playoffs, or since it is Week 10, kind of have that standalone game? Has the athletic directors talked about it, about moving the game one way or the other to get it a standalone game for the area?
The only person I've ever heard is you, Joe, talk about it.
I know, Coach. That's why I'm asking you.
I know you want to broadcast.
I do.
Right?
Yep.
No, I don't think we've ever talked about it. I would not be for moving it to Saturday just because both programs have been lucky enough to be playoff-type teams lately, and I think that would cut you short the next week.
But could you imagine playing tomorrow and then getting that extra day to Week 11?
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. If you can work it out, I'm not against it, but I like Friday nights.
Well, he knows what question's coming next. So.
Yeah. But yeah, Coach, it's such a fun rivalry between you and Jason are such great friends, and you guys are awesome for us at Big Z Sports, and you do such great things for us and the access that you allow us, and we thank you for what you bring to us and Big Z Sports. You call us win or lose, and sometimes you're grumpy when you win, sometimes you're happy when you lose, which isn't very often, but we appreciate all you do for us.
Hey, you guys do a great job promoting kids in the area. I love what you've done with our program and our kids. You make our kids feel special. I think that's awesome, and our whole community enjoys watching these and listening to the kids talk. And I'm not crazy about my kids all saying I lift baby weights. And so
they were showing me some videos.
They were supposed to never talk about the day that I supposedly fell in a box. I
saw it. They showed me the video.
They somehow doctored the video. That's what kids do.
Somehow.
I did not fall. I'm way too athletic for that. But they seem to remember it different than I do. But we have such great kids. I mean, they're fun to be around. It's what makes our program special. like I said, we're lucky we have the administration we do. We have a great superintendent, a great AD sitting here, and our community supports us tremendously. But the best thing is those kids. We are lucky. We have awesome kids.
Absolutely. We're going to welcome in Jesse Smoulder now, the athletic director here for the Ridgewood Generals. And Jesse, I pulled you out of some biddy ball to come over for the show. We appreciate you hanging out with us and talking a little Generals athletics.
Yeah, no problem. You got me out of coaching second grade basketball right now. So
more fun than that? I mean, come on, second grade basketball?
I tell you, it was hard to pull away from that, but I appreciate you doing it.
Well, the fall's winding down. Obviously, football's in week 10. Cross country's, I think, pretty much wrapped up. Golf is wrapped up. Volleyball's wrapping up. Talk to us about the fall sports here for Ridgewood.
We're very fortunate here with all our sports. I think our coaches do an outstanding job. John, obviously, with the program that he and the other coaches have created. But I think we get a great culture, and I think that goes, like John has said about our kids, and our coaches too. They put in a lot of work. They put in a lot of effort. The community sport's been amazing. So really pleased with our fall sports.
And you got this beautiful field house here. And we see tonight that you have spring sports. The girls softball team's wanting to come in here. So as an athletic director, how do you go about managing all that, getting the different programs to come in here, use the batting cages, the weight room, stuff like that? Does that all fall on your plate, or do you got somebody that helps you with that?
Some of that falls on my plate, but the coaches do a great job communicating and working things out. So our sports work together. And everybody's welcome to use the facility, which is great. This is not just, hey, this is a football building or this is a baseball, softball building. This is for all our sports to use to get better. It's a tremendous facility. We're fortunate to have it, and I think, that starts at the top with Mr. Maslowski, the superintendent, kind of helping to allow us to have facilities like this and pushing for it for the betterment of our kids.
And Jesse, if you look ahead a little bit, couple weeks, basketball is going to start. Coach Dolick and that program has done some great things the last few years. And what do you expect from the winter sports here at Ridgewood?
I expect them to keep rolling. Coach Dolick does a great job. I know they've had some open gyms and getting stuff ready to go. Coach Bardal with the girls basketball program. Getting ready, and they're excited for the season too. I think they've been building some things over the last couple of years, so I think it'll be an exciting winter for them. And Coach Massey does a great job with our wrestlers, and that program has had some exciting things, sending a couple to state last year. It was exciting to see them. X got a win down there and got to move on. So, we've been fortunate again. I feel really blessed as an athletic director to be able to work with the people that I work with, and then to work with the kids as well, because they put in the time, they put in the effort, and they kind of have that mentality that, no, we're going to grind it out and we're going to find a way to get things done. It's
absolutely.
Pretty cool.
And Coach, I'll bring you back in here, and I want you to talk to us a little bit about, you've been around here essentially all your life, but assistant coach, head coach, talk about the community and the community support that you guys get as an athletic program, as a football program. The community's pretty special down here.
Yeah, I've been blessed really to be here pretty much my entire life. I left for a few years to go to college because we don't have one here in town, and so they forced my hand to leave for a little while. We're very lucky. It's a pretty tight knit community. Even people that don't like you or don't always have something good to say, they support the kids. They support each other. And the best thing I tell people about West Lafayette is, even like I said, if you don't see this or don't see that, in times of trouble, everybody gets together. Everybody has everybody's back. And it's a pretty cool place. We've been really blessed as a football program to have great support over the years. You don't come here very many Friday nights where the place isn't full. And they just back football tremendously. We've been very blessed with that.
Yeah, you've been blessed with the tremendous support you get. And like I was talking to some of the players, that feeds to all the youth. Like you said, you was just coaching bitty ball for second graders. So the numbers tend to be up in all age groups when one program succeeds. And I think it started with football down, and now it's just branched out to, I'm a wrestling guy. So, watching those wrestlers last year for Ridgewood have success made me feel good, even though I'm not from this district. So, the success of the football program, I think, has tremendously helped all the other programs all the way down.
I'd like to think that's true. I hope it is. They would probably argue. I will tell you the really good thing from the guys' side anyhow, I can't speak on the female side because I just don't deal with it as much. All of our coaches are good friends, and so we work together. We really try to put the kids in the best situation. We don't have a lot of, well, this kid's only going to play basketball, or we have open gym and baseball at the same time, or football and baseball. All of us work together, and we try to put the kids in the best spot. We never argue over a kid or put a kid in a bad spot. I could let Jesse talk about some of that but yeah, I think our guys' situation on the men's side is a really unique spot because of the friendship with all the coaches.
Yeah, I think that helps, and the sacrifice that people put in too. I mean, what people don't see behind the scenes is you got a Chris Cabot going down and coaching third grade football, fourth grade football, and putting in the time at the varsity level and the high school level, but then going and doing that. Josh Lammers is one of our football coaches, and he's helping to run the Biddy basketball program. Coach Dolick, who's the varsity coach, well, he's over there covering for me now at second grade practice, but that gym is full of kids. And a lot of that doesn't happen if we don't have a lot of people put time and effort in. And like Coach said, the community support's amazing. There's a lot of things that that people don't see behind the scenes, the booster reps. Like if you go over to our cafeteria right now, it is decorated in orange and black with all sorts of signs and spirit stuff. And I know that happens at other places, but not quite to this level. Unlike Coach, I've been around a little bit. I'm from Wheeling, West Virginia originally, and then I was at Riverview for a long time. And there are some cool things that happen at other places, but this, I can tell you from being other places, this is a really special place, and the community support is there. And it's a really cool atmosphere. And we've talked several times. Friday night's a really cool thing in this community. I mean, it's an event, and people look forward to it, and the support is overwhelming.
And you branch off into the spring as well, Coach. I know he does track. You have Coach Dolick helps with baseball. You have it seems like every coach helps in other sports, not just their main one.
Absolutely. I mean, we got Coach Laney who coaches football. He's the head baseball coach. So, yeah, we do, like Coach said, do a great job of sharing athletes and trying to promote the other sports too. It's not just about one sport or the other. It's about everybody here being successful. And I can tell you those coaches go to games, the men's coaches go to the girls' games, and the same thing vice versa, and ask about it at school and develop those relationships. I mean, it is a pretty cool community of support with the coaches and just all the way down through.
And that's one of the things that I hear from a lot of the ADs from successful sports programs, that those ADs will always tell you that his support cast or her support cast are the people who make their job easier, and do you feel like that is one of the big things here for you, that you got so many people that you could turn to? I mean, you could call John at any time and say, hey, I need your help with this, and just consider done.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And yes, a lot of the coaches, I'm very fortunate that way. And like I said, I mean, the amount of time and effort these guys put in behind the scenes is unreal. Like I said somewhat joking, but not really, that we got the best coaching staff in the state of Ohio, maybe the country, at our Meet the Team. And I truly believe that. I mean, our coaches put in the time to make sure our kids are in the best spot to have a chance to win. And that doesn't mean we're always going to win, but we're never going to lose a game in a sport, and this goes across the sports, because we're not prepared to execute a game plan.
Well, Coach, I'll wrap up this segment with you. One final question. I won't get to ask you Friday night. I'll ask you tonight. Your 3 keys to Ridgewood going to the Hill and Sugar Creek to knock off the Garaway Pirates.
Only 3?
Only 3. There's only 3. There's only 3 keys in the game.
Obviously, we want to not turn the football over. That's, a big deal for us. 2, we've got to limit their big plays. They have a lot of big play type people. The Roden twins are special athletes. Logan Yoder, Miller, they've got a lot of nice players. But we've got to figure out a way to move the football against the Wallach and the rest of his troop on that defense. I mean, I really believe they're an elite defense, one of the best in the state of Ohio, probably in any division. So we've got to figure out a way to move the football. If we can do that and keep them off the field, then maybe we can, I think defensively, if we can hold our own just a little bit and move the ball, then we'll give ourselves a chance.
Well, Coach, good luck. Congratulations on a great season so far. Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. And Jesse, good to see you again, and we'll see you in the spring and in this winter time as well during basketball, guys. That's Jesse Smoulder, the athletic director here at Ridgewood, and, of course, the head football coach, John Slusser. Take one final timeout, come back and wrap this up. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
The Extra Point Show, built by Battle Motors, will be back after this break. Battle Motors, purpose-built, quality-driven.
How does a new career in an extremely high-demand field sound to you? Well, the former crane carrier company in New Philadelphia is now Battle Motors. Battle Motors is expanding rapidly for their all-new heavy-duty electric truck production. Battle Motors has immediate openings for assemblers, electrical technicians, painters, blasters, as well as numerous engineering and design positions. If you're interested in a great career opportunity, apply online at battlemotors.com/careers.
Will be up at New Philadelphia for the New Philadelphia-Dover football game, 119th meeting between the Quakers and Tornadoes. Of course, Ridgewood and Garraway on the Hill in Sugar Creek, and so many more rivalry games this coming week.
Yeah, you get a lot of games this week. Got Indian Valley going down to Claymont. Got a big game out in Lore City as Newcomers Town goes out there to play Buckeye Trail, and that game's going to come down to an IVC North title, it looks like. So a lot of good games. Stay tuned to Big Z Sports all night Friday night as the guys in the station will give updates. Joe and them guys will be at the game. It's going to be an action-packed Friday night.
It's going to be a fun week, number 10. Big thanks to Josiah Cahill, Jonas Paul, Colin Smith, Quincy Haynes, Cohen Cabot, the seniors for the Ridgewood Generals, and, of course, Jesse Smoulder, the AD for Ridgewood, and head football coach John Slusser. Big thanks to Lydia Brady behind the scenes for Claxon Communications, Amici's Pizza for the food tonight, and my man all night long, Shannon Thomas. I'm Joe Geckler. We'll talk to you Friday night beginning at 5 o'clock with our Wood Electric pregame show. See you then on Friday night with Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
Thanks for listening to the Big Z Sports Extra Point Show, powered by Battle Motors, purpose-built, quality-driven. Tune in this Friday starting at 5 p.m. for the most comprehensive high school football show in the area, Big Z Sports.